Hey guys, Big E here, and in today's video, we are going to discuss a topic that I have seen suggested to me an innumerable amount of times, and that is the question or the comment that goes along the lines of, Enders, if you were somehow hired by DICE, what were the 5 or 10 things that you would change? Well, of course, let's just get this straight. I'm not trying to be hired by DICE, and I think DICE would rather permaban me forever than ever talk to me, but this is just hypothetical, okay? This is a hypothetical video. And I'm essentially just going to spin this into what are the biggest problems that are still realistically addressable left in Battlefield 2042 over 2 years after the game has been released. And I think I see these comments more often when new content comes out because, of course, the game is on sale all the time for like $10. People see Season 7 just dropped and then go, Enders, how's Season 7 now? I haven't played the game in 2 years since beta. Should I play? Well, okay, let me explain. Let me explain to you. Then you can decide based off this video whether or not you want to try the game. So without further ado, let's jump into it. If you enjoy the video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and follow my Twitch stream. I stream every single day. First link in the description. One thing I want to say up front is I'm not going to go over every single possible problem in the game, okay? There are a lot. Let's be completely honest with ourselves. The video would be 40 minutes long. So instead, I'm going to be going over the most obvious problems, the most realistic problems that could and should be addressed still even this late into the game's life cycle because, well, honestly, these problems I will be mentioning are not hard to fix and could likely all be fixed in a single patch if DICE actually wanted to. So the first thing I want to mention is, yes, Battlefield 2042 has been improved. Yes, they have added more content. Yes, the amount of content is absolutely lacking in comparison to, let's say, games like Battlefield 1. So if you have not played this game in quite a long time and expect some sort of magnificent amount of content, please curb your expectations. You shall be disappointed. The first glaring problem with Battlefield 2042 that I have kept noticing over and over and over again, especially with consistent playtime, is you are constantly spotted in this video game. I'm talking about, I don't think there is a moment where you're not on the minimap. You are spotted by Casper drones, RAW, tugs, Q-Spot, and God knows what else. So if you were annoyed by spotting in previous Battlefield games, this Battlefield game takes that and turns it up to 15. Okay, there are so many things that you get spotted by in this game. The other glaring issue that I think many new players or players thinking about trying Season 7 will notice immediately is the fact that the maps still, for the most part, absolutely suck. Let's not kid ourselves, Battlefield 2042's maps, especially the base game maps, even after the reworks, are easily some of the most disappointing maps ever released in a Battlefield game. Let's just use Manifest as an example. Easily will go down in my mind as a top 10, if not top 5 worst Battlefield map I have ever played in my entire life. Same goes for Conquest on Hourglass, especially pre-rework, my lord. With that being said, some of the reworks have made some of the maps more bearable, and most of the new maps are pretty decent to play on, with the exception of Haven, which just suffers from, too many building syndrome, so people camp. So I guess you can blame the players for being a bunch of rats, but you can also blame the developers for enabling the rats. Now, before I go on and address some of the other issues that are still present within Battlefield 2042, I would like to address the constant question that I get, which is, Enders, should I try Battlefield 2042? It's only $35 million on Steam, which is pretty low price. Should I try the game, Enders? And this is my official statement on this, okay? So clip this and save it to your desktop or something. My official statement on whether or not you should try Battlefield 2042 is maybe or maybe not, because here's the thing. You have to understand that when you're talking about playing and buying Battlefield 2042, you are entering at your own peril, because I have seen and experienced things in Battlefield 2042 that have changed me. And what everyone needs to understand is, not everyone will have the same experience, and I am aware of that. Now, me, being the type of player that I am extremely sweaty. I know basically everything that's going on in the game. I can see all the tiny little problems on a per-second basis, and 2042 has a lot of them. For someone like me, the game is essentially hell. Now, for someone that just wants to play casually with their friends, have a few laughs, and maybe drive a Pond Hawk on top of a building and snipe, they're not going to notice any of these things, which means, again, the answer sort of depends. What type of player are you? Are you a type of player that pays a lot of attention? If so, you're going to hate Battlefield 2042. If you're a player that sort of plays more casually and doesn't really give a shit, then you might not hate 2042. But my official statement on whether or not the game is good or not will always be no. Because, guys, the game is still Battlefield 2042. It's not like they completely recreated the game over a long period of time. The game is still Battlefield 2042. The framework is still there, and the game still plays how it plays, which means it plays like shit. And I'm so harsh on that statement because I know how other Battlefield games played in comparison to how 2042 played, and I'm just have to be honest with you guys, it's still not close. Even Battlefield 5, which was another catastrophe, still plays better than Battlefield 2042. So I hope that answer helps some people decide whether or not they would like to play the game. I think you guys just have to set your own expectations for what Battlefield 2042 as a game is and have them be realistic. Now, moving on to some of the other glaring issues with the game still is the worst feeling Battlefield by far. And what I mean by that is if you go play, let's say, Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 1, move around and aim in those games, and then come play 2042, it should be glaringly obvious for anyone that has any sort of measurable mechanical talent that 2042 is easily the worst at feeling FPS game on the market currently. It is unresponsive. The mouse input and controller input are still broken. They actually recently rebugged a bug with the recoil that I personally helped DICE fix. And overall, the game is it's just mushy and unresponsive, and it's not a great experience. And the last thing I will mention in this video is sort of the vehicle/infantry balance, and generally just how the game plays, okay? Battlefield 2042 is, in my experience, one of the spammiest Battlefield games, and I'll explain what I mean by that. So for those of you that have played Battlefield 1, namely Fort de Vaux, you will understand the grenade spam and the sheer level of grenade spam that was in Battlefield 1. But with 2042, because of the nature of how the game plays, it's spammy across pretty much like all ranges, because things like Zane are in the game. Things like Scars having 3 grenade launchers are in the game. Sundance is in the game. SPH launcher. And then you have to get into the vehicle versus infantry balance, which is super spammy. Basically, how vehicle versus infantry fights go, either the infantry instantly blow up the vehicle, or the vehicle instantly blows you up. Or you go through this weird sort of spam fire stint where you lock a helicopter 30 million times, then the helicopter flies away and then kills you. Or you lock the helicopter like 3 times because the helicopter pilot doesn't understand how flares work, and you like basically 2 or 3 shot the helicopter with a stinger. The game's all over the place, but generally speaking, it's one of the spammiest Battlefield games I've ever played in terms of explosive and in terms of just even taking damage from crazy ranges. You will get shot from angles that you would have never guessed in your wildest dreams in 2042. And the funniest part about that is, in this game, you will take significant damage from those insane ranged angles that you would not take previously unless they had snipers. Even after all of the gunplay and spread reworks that have happened in Battlefield 2042, you can still easily die from a full auto spray from 100 meters. Easily. And the TTK is like sub 200 milliseconds, which essentially means you're getting instantly killed. I have to give them credit. It's not as bad as it was on launch, but I still have PTSD from the RM68 pre-spread changes. So with all that being said, I think I covered pretty much the most glaring and obvious issues that most people will come across, whether or not they're a new player, or maybe even if you're a veteran player, some of the things that I said resonated with you. So I hope that was informative. Let me know in the comments section. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and of course follow my Twitch channel. I stream every single day at twitch.tv/enders. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Dude, you're actually over-encumbered on this point. You're over-encumbered. There's always 8 people, no matter how many you kill.